Growing up without a father is devastating to a child. So when I do these films, I normally come and sit and wait for my daughter to finish school. And I actually come a little bit earlier because it's quite crazy how traffic is horrendous. Because we can't find parking, so I normally come and sit here a little bit early and I brainstorm and I think what to talk about. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen those AI videos that they do where they take an old photo and then they recreate it into, man, sure, it's hard to talk. Um, it's those photos where they take AI and they make them bring alive. And I was thinking of my grandfather. The hardest part of my life was actually, yeah, I don't know how to say this. It was, I think, just to be honest, I think my mom tried her best. I can't say that I didn't have a dad in my life. In all fairness, I did have my stepdad that was there, and he tried his best. My real dad, he lived in Dubai, and I only got to know him when I was an adult, and I knew of him, but never knew him personally. So when I was young, I stayed with my grandfather, and it was up to my grandfather to raise me. And I think if it wasn't for him, I would not have had the upbringing that I do have now. The Bible says, teach a child the way they should grow up, so that when they're old, they will not depart from it. I had a lot of mistakes, and part of it I could blame on, I would say, fatherless. But again, it's unfair of me saying that because, again, my stepdad did try his best. Um, but there was days where I would go to a rugby game and I didn't I didn't see my father there. I saw my friends with their dads passing the ball. I think what I'm trying to say is that what everybody has a past and nobody knows your story, but it doesn't define who you are. I made a video a while ago in connection with looking into the rearview mirror. In your past does not always need to define you. Yes, it is difficult, and it was just a memory that was brought back to life by seeing this AI video, and I was thinking how amazing it would be to see my grandfather alive again, because he was the only male figure at that young age that showed me passion, showed me love, showed me something of a father. And I want to cry. I've got people around me still waiting for their kids as well, but it's hard. It's hard of it's hard to realize that there are kids out there that actually don't even have a father. Today I'm blessed. Funny enough, I've still got my stepdad. I've got my real dad. We're reconnected, and I've got a father-in-law. So I've got three fathers, yeah, with me. But I really do believe that the upbringing of fatherless homes does really count against a lot of people. Kids that have grown up without parents, and then there are kids that grows up without a dad, and it's difficult for boys to become men if they have not had a role model. And anybody can be a role model. In fact, I applaud men that go out into the communities and act as if they are the father. There's guys that goes out and they will form a soccer team, especially in our communities here in South Africa. They would form a soccer team and they will create some value into them to show them what it means to be a guy. Not always easy. And I've seen a lot of these boys grow up in a sense that they are actually finding hope, they are finding responsibility, they are finding purpose. And without purpose, I don't think your life is any worth. I still got a lump in my throat. What I'm trying to get at, I suppose, is just that just because you didn't have a father in your life doesn't mean you cannot be a father. I always wondered if I was going to be a great dad to two beautiful daughters that I have. Thinking, would I run away, maybe divorce the mom? All of these questions came up, and I realized, what if I don't make a decision right now to say no more past? I don't say I'm living in the past anymore. Right now, I made a decision to cut off all ties of my past that kept me back, because of that, I did a lot of stupid things. The drugs and smoking and alcohol, and by the grace of God, managed to cut off every single thing that held me back. And people are like, oh, but it's my life and all of those things. You have no idea how tied you are to the world the moment you think you can do whatever you want. You do not belong to yourself anymore. And it's so liberating the moment that you realize that when Jesus says, when you know the truth will set you free. And it does. I promise you it does. And we cannot use this freedom to do whatever we want. We have to use this freedom to proclaim the goodness of God. And because I've been given this opportunity to do this channel, this I Am Man is not just something that I just thought of one day. Well, in fact, it was, but I mean, it just didn't. I didn't think of it as a let's try something new. It's honestly because I've been through hell, and not a lot of people know this. I don't care what a lot of people say. I've been there, and I had to make a decision. Do I continue with my life the way it is, or do I rise above my circumstances? I failed a couple of times. Made stupid mistakes. But again, that didn't define me. I found God, and I gave my life to Him. I think it was in 2013, 2012, 2013, I can't remember. And I gave my life to God, but I didn't know what it was. And I was on this journey. I got baptized, said I was a Christian, still smoked, still drank. And then I realized it's a process. It's literally a process. When you are a newborn Christian, you cannot expect a baby to walk. And it's exactly what happened. I had to learn how to walk. I needed to learn how to talk. I needed to learn how to do a lot of these things. A lot of people think, oh, the moment you give your life to God, it's going to be perfect. I hate to break this to you, but it's far from perfect. In fact, this is probably the time where you're going to be tested the most. Remember, you've now joined the opposing team. You were part of an evil team, and now you're part of God's team. And I know it sounds so cliche, but this is exactly what happens. But the more you practice, fight, or in prayer, in the word, and all of those things, I promise you, you just become a different person. Sometimes miracles happen, and the best miracle that happened to me was smoking. It was a couple of weeks after I've given my life to God. I was reading some book about stopping to smoke, quitting to smoke. I can't even remember. It's a couple of years ago. And I was sitting outside and I said, God, is this what you want from me? And I took that packet of cigarettes. I think I had like 3 cigarettes left. And I was busy smoking one, and I said, no more. And I took the smoke and I bashed it against the floor. And I took the packet of cigarettes and I crushed it up like this. And I said, no more. And since then, till today, this is the date I do remember. It was the 3rd of October 2012. I don't know why I remember this date, but it's a date that's always been stuck to me. And funny enough, I remember that date, but I forgot my wife's birthday on our first year of marriage. But here's the thing, we're all human. But that powerful day reminded me of something powerful, and it is the fact that God comes and He intervenes and He says, my boy, I love you with all of my heart, with all of my soul. I gave my son to you so that you can be set free. It's your choice. You make that decision. And again, like I said, overnight I was set free. So it is possible. But still, remember this. You're growing. Every single day that you live there's going to be temptations. You're never going to be free of temptations. In fact, we were speaking about it the other day. There's this movie called Pilgrim's Progress. Beautiful story. I think it was written years ago, like almost 100 years ago. I stand corrected. The storyline goes like this. This guy decides, no, he's going to go look for the promised land, or how does they, I can't even remember how they call it, but they mentioned something that he was on this journey and he had this burden on him, and the burden just grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and he had to face all of these obstacles. And he thought by the time, I think it was when he had the armor on, he's like, oh no, I'm cool. I don't have to worry anymore. But in fact, that's when the enemy started becoming stronger and stronger and stronger and chasing after him. And that's exactly what it is, becoming a Christian. But because the enemy becomes stronger, you become stronger, and it's practicing that muscle, that faith muscle. And that faith muscle literally is similar to going to gym. You're going to go to gym and you're going to start off with 5 kilogram dumbbells, and you're going to start gymming. And later on, you're going to see, oh, wait, listen, I'm taking shape. I'm going to go on to a 10, maybe to a 12, maybe to a 15, maybe to a 20. And so you grow and you grow and you grow. I mean, there's these guys pushing, goodness gracious. I mean, I saw the other day some guy was doing, I think it was a 35 or 40 kilogram dumbbell. And I'm like, I wish I was there, but I'm not there yet. Does it mean I'm weak? No, not at all. He's just been doing it longer. And then you see these pastors, oh, no, man, nothing hits them. Guess what? Pastors, I don't care who you are, I think they probably have it much worse than our normal common folk, as I call it. But they're much stronger because they've been doing this for long. They are in the Word. Their whole life revolves around Bible study. And imagine how strong we would be if the first thing we picked up was the Bible instead of our phones. And it's something that I'm struggling with as well. So what I do in the morning is I've got the Bible app. And by the way, I don't know who's going to see this, but for the creator of that Bible app, it has just reached 1 billion subscribers. Well done. Regardless, the message that I want to try to say is that every morning I wake up and I go read a verse, and I'm like, okay, let me ponder on this verse. And then I'm like, okay, 5 minutes later, the next thing I do, Facebook. I promise you, these oaks at Facebook, they know exactly what they're doing to keep you glued to that screen. But again, it's your choice. It's your choice what you do next. And I just want to say, the choices you make today will define you for the rest of your life. And I thank God that the choices I've made, even not having a father and even doing the things that I've done, I thank God so much that the decisions I've made led me to doing exactly this. And it's to tell other men, you have a choice. Iron Man was created for this. Tell other men, you've got this. Don't give up. So my prayer for you is that you will find purpose. I know it's not always easy, but please don't look back. Look forward. Do something small every day that will change your course of direction for the rest of your life. That's all I'm asking. Do one small action, even if it's just saying, thank you, Father God. Even if it's just reading one verse a day. Even if it's just saying to your wife, to your future wife, to your child, I love you. Do one random act of kindness every single day. Small, consistent steps towards a bigger goal is easier to achieve than to try and plonk it all at once. I promise you, one small step, you will get there.